Hey everyone, today's topic on my walk and talk for all things health and fitness related is going to be about frozen shoulders and the deception which is so rife within the industry of rehabilitation and exercise prescription. If you are suffering, if you're in pain, discomfort, when drastic things are happening to you, you need to take drastic action, or massive action, some people would say. It's a lovely frosty day today, and today's Wednesday, and I'm going to do a nice walk today, then get in and make some food. Poor old Lizzie's a little bit knocked out at the moment. She's taking tramadol for a frozen shoulder, and it really is just making her feel so tired, but it's reduced the amount of pain that she's in. And to be honest with you, we hate taking pills. Sometimes you've got to for quality of life. And myself, as a sports therapist or a rehab therapist and a coach and trainer, I've dealt with people with frozen shoulder for years. And listen, I promise you, if there's some guru out there telling you how to fix your frozen shoulder, run away from them. Just get away from them, because it's rubbish. A frozen shoulder is a genetic condition. Well, not genetic, it's a cellular condition. And you ain't gonna just free that up by stretching it and moving it, or heat, or cold. It's not gonna free it. You need to let it take its course. And if there is somebody who says to you, "Oh yeah, I had a frozen shoulder and I did this stretching and I did this and I did that," either they're one in a million, because you always get somebody who can buck any trend, or they're not explaining the full extent of what they had going on at the time, or they never had a frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder is particularly prevalent in middle-aged women, especially around menopause. It can last for up to 3 years, you know. In the majority of cases, it goes through three main stages. The first stage is when your shoulder begins to freeze, in other words, seize up, and is extremely painful. The second stage is the frozen stage. Not as painful, but your shoulder's stuck. And the third stage, it starts to release until you're free of it. Now, I've seen people go for steroid injections, which, yes, can relieve your pain for a little while. But I would say, in my experience, the majority of times, these are very, very short-term relief. Excuse me. Short-term relief, yeah. And you'll be back needing another steroid injection. Now, remembering that these steroids prevent healing. They do prevent healing, it's been shown. They do help with pain relief. But in the long run, you do not want to have steroid injections unless you have no other opportunity, or you have no other choice. And in which case, that's up to you. Only you know your pain. Only you know what you can put up with. How do you know you've got a frozen shoulder? You're going to get an ache in one shoulder usually, and it's going to feel very strange. it's going to feel like, almost like your shoulder can feel dislocated. And when you move it, especially this angle or up here, you're going to have extreme pain. I'm not just talking about a knock or an ache. You are going to feel like your shoulder's being ripped out of its socket. You won't be able to sleep on that side. You won't be able to do your hair. And gradually, it's going to linger around for months. You're not going to get rid of it, guys. You're not going to get rid of it. So you'll wait a long time for an x-ray. Then you'll wait even longer for an ultrasound scan or an MRI scan. The chances are you ain't going to get it. So do what we did. Pay £150. Go and get your ultrasound scan or MRI scan. Do it. This is your health, right? People pay thousands of pounds just to have their nose corrected or to have a butt lift. Oh, look at them jets up there, man. Where we are staying in Lincolnshire, it's a mecca for the RAF basically here. Yeah, listen to me. I promise you, spend the money on yourself and go and rule out the likelihood of anything else. Okay? Get the scans, then pay to see a private consultant recommended by your GP or somebody you trust. Okay? Get the scan done, guys. Know what you're dealing with. And like in the case of most people with a frozen shoulder, ultrasound scan is going to show nothing. X-ray scan is going to show nothing. See a consultant and do some tests, and if they've ruled out any nasty tendon, ligament, joint problems, you're going to be diagnosed with a frozen shoulder. Remember what I said. If any practitioner, no matter who they are, tells you they can fix your frozen shoulder, they can't. I've heard this literally thousands of times. And people all say the same thing. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. You can't. But like I said earlier, you can do things around the area to improve your symptoms. Now, they do a thing, the surgeons do a release on the shoulder capsule. Now, this is I believe it's under general anaesthetic. I think it is, could be local. But this is where they manipulate the shoulder under anaesthetic. They leave you, it's invasive, cut around the joint, try and release the tissues. You wake up in the morning with your arm up here. Now I've experienced this with people and it made no difference whatsoever. In fact, I haven't personally had anybody come to me and say the shoulder release worked. If it was me, I'd do what Lizzie's doing. You put up with it, don't do anything fancy. You can move the muscles around the shoulder joint, like in your shoulder blade, your scapula, your neck, to help. But don't do any crazy exercises on the shoulder. It's really not worth it, guys, really not worth it. I originally trained as a sports therapist, an acupuncturist, a rehab specialist. Like, I did everything specialist that I need to do, way and beyond what a physiotherapist would train to do at university. I'm not saying that to diss physiotherapy degrees at all, or osteopathy or chiropractic. No, they've all got value. But I trained in the things that I specifically needed to train in. So for instance, I did osteopathic courses, CPD if you like, to learn how to manipulate joints and bones, and the same, not chiropractic. I've never done that. I don't think you're allowed. But certainly chiropractors that brought things to the world, like Michael Leahy, who did active release techniques, and I studied that for many years. And I've since come to learn that the 10 years of money and time I put into educating myself whilst working in a busy practice in London with two of my colleagues, most of it's a load of rubbish. And a massive portion of it is placebo. I want to finish up by saying, if you have a frozen shoulder, the outcome is usually good. Personally, steer away from certain practices if you can. If you've no alternative, you make that decision yourself. Keep yourself healthy by walking. Meditation is amazing. Okay, walking, meditation. You can do things like shoulder rolls, okay, shoulder squeezes. You can work your abdomen so you improve your core strength. If you have to move your shoulder, again, very gently and always using the muscles around it. Some people say a TENS machine's good. I've not found it to be conclusive, but some people like it, so that's up to them. Well, that's up to you. Hot and cold can help. Personally, again, from the studies I've seen, I'd stick away from the cold. Cold freezes an area, which is what your shoulder's doing anyway, and prevents healing. Inside your shoulder capsule, there's no blood. There's just what they call, there's just a fluid in there, a white fluid, which lubricates the joint and helps the healing. So moving about helps that fluid move. It's called synovial fluid. It will help you. Nutrition. So hydrate. Keep your water intake good. Make sure you're taking very, very good Celtic sea salt. That is very important. Then basically take any other herbs and supplements that you deem necessary. Vitamin D, sunlight. Again, it's not rocket science. Now, the more sugar you eat, the more refined carbohydrate and sugars, the more pain you're going to have, because sugar is pro-inflammatory in the body. Reduce it, or just get rid of it. Find something else. You're a grown-up, right? Alcohol, the same. It's going to cause you more problems than good. Smoking, similar, but hey, if you've got one vice, just limit it down as much as you can. And that's the same for all healing. All healing. But get into the meditation. I think there are more studies about the benefits of meditation on health than there are on actual exercise. So, okay, so I'm going to end this little video now, all about a frozen shoulder, and wish you all the best of luck. Hang in there. Some people say as well, when the pain's bad, or even if it's settled down, it doesn't matter, just think about your other shoulder. Think about how it feels okay and it feels nice, and try to stop your brain constantly worrying about the frozen shoulder pain. Take your mind off of it as much as you can. Don't forget to laugh. Don't forget to smile. You can still have a little dance. It's not going to stop you. But don't try doing yoga or swimming or weight training. You're going to be in a world of hurt. And I'll be there saying, I told you so. So, right guys, so thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy my little walk and talk. All things health, fitness. Wow, the beard is really wet. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, leave them below. If you want my take on any ailments, or especially on anything to do with improving yourself, let me know in the comments, guys. Right now, I've got about 1 kilometre left to walk. And I'll make myself something to eat, do some editing, and chill out. Take care, all the best.